Welcome to Tender Heart. Many studies done by expert physicians and researchers around the world have suggested that skin-to-skin bonding, where a new baby is placed directly onto his mother's chest, is extremely beneficial in ensuring that the baby stays healthy and becomes fitter quicker than normal. It has been shown that a mother's body regulates and stabilizes her baby's biology when held in a skin-to-skin position, which was proved by observing the heart rate, oxygen and breathing monitors, as well as capturing the body temperature, and mainly premature babies who were struggling to survive after birth. But one miraculous incident changed the lookout on this theory and proved that skin-to-skin is not just for a mother and a baby. In the fall of 1995, two twin girls were prematurely born, weighing in at just 2 pounds. Brielle and Kyrie Jackson of Westminster, Massachusetts, spent their first few weeks fighting for their lives in separate incubators. Brielle's breathing became shallow and her heart rate dropped drastically. Miraculously, a quick-thinking nurse decided to put the two in the same incubator. Kyrie immediately reached over and put her arm around her. Brielle's heart stabilized and her temperature returned to normal. How did it all happen? Well, before we continue this story, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to that channel and click that bell icon so you get updated every time we post new videos. With that said, let's dive right into it. Heidi and Paul Jackson's twin girls, Brielle and Kyrie, born on October 17, 1995, were 12 weeks ahead of their due date at the Medical Center of Central Massachusetts in Worcester. Standard hospital practice was followed for them, where both of the preemie twins were put inside separate incubators in their neonatal intensive care unit to reduce the risk of infection. Kyrie was the stronger one of the twins. At 3 ounces heavier, she seemed to be thriving in the incubator, quickly gaining weight and calmly sleeping her newborn days away. But Brielle, on the other hand, was struggling to survive. She weighed only 2 pounds at birth but couldn't keep up with her sister in terms of weight gain. She had breathing and heart problems. The oxygen level in her blood was low, and at one point, her breathing became critically shallow and her heart rate dropped drastically. This critical condition occurred on November 12th, almost 1 month after their birth. She began gasping for breath, and her face and stick-thin arms and legs turned bluish-gray. Her heart rate was now going way up, and she got the hiccups, which was a dangerous sign that her body was under stress. Her parents watched, terrified that she might die. The doctors tried everything they could, but nothing seemed to work. Especially Nurse Gail Kasparian, who was looking after the twins in the care unit, tried all possible ways to stabilize Brielle. She suctioned her breathing passages and turned up the oxygen flow to the incubator. Still, Brielle squirmed and fussed as her oxygen intake plummeted and her heart rate continued to soar. Then Kasparian remembered something that she had heard from a colleague a long time ago. It was a procedure common in many parts of Europe, but almost unheard of in this country, that called for double bedding in the case of multiple birth babies, especially preemies. Kasparian's nurse manager, Susan Fitzbach, was away at a conference, and the arrangement was unorthodox. It was not allowed to put 2 babies together as it could lead to infection and even more critical condition for Brielle. But Kasparian decided to take the risk anyway. She said to the alarmed parents, "Let me just try putting Brielle in with her sister to see if that helps. I don't know what else to do." The Jacksons quickly gave the go-ahead, and Kasparian slipped the squirming baby into the incubator, holding the sister she hadn't seen since birth. Then Kasparian and the Jacksons watched and prayed. As soon as she closed the door of the incubator, in a shocking moment, Brielle snuggled right up to Kyrie and calmed right down. Kyrie had reached over and placed her arm around Brielle's body. Suddenly, Brielle's heart stabilized and her temperature returned to normal. Within minutes, her blood oxygen readings became the best that they'd ever seen since she was born. She slipped into a peaceful sleep and her sister was still holding her close. A photojournalist just so happened to be in the hospital at the time and captured this miraculous moment. As a result of the sisters' hug, the power of touch was revealed and a dying baby was saved. That photo has become known around the world as the rescue hug. By coincidence, the conference that Kasparian's manager Fitzbach was attending included a presentation on double bedding. This is something I want to see happen at the medical center, she thought, but it might be hard making the change. On her return, while she was doing rounds, the nurse said, "Sue, take a look in that isolette over there." "I can't believe this," Fitzbach said. "This is so beautiful." "You mean we can do it?" asked the nurse. "Of course we can," Fitzbach replied. This was the moment kangaroo care came to light in the US. Many experiments were done, many institutions adopted the double bedding practice, and it has since been used to save the lives of thousands of premature babies who otherwise would have struggled to live. It's now 20 years later, the twins are all grown up, though they remain closer than ever. In fact, now that the two girls are home, they still sleep together and still snuggle. They randomly Google their story and remind themselves of the power they've had on the medical and parenting communities. That's it for today. I hope you liked this story. If you do, feel free to share this with your family and friends. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to that channel. Thanks for watching.